Welcome to SJB Radio. I'm your host, Alexa, here with...
Elissa.
And Mitzi.
Alright, that was a little bit of a stretch there, Elissa. I thought you were using Mitzi's mic today, but okay. Anyway, so, tomorrow is a dress-down day for...
Earth Day!
Yes, Mitzi is very ecstatic about that. She has been talking about it, for the past 30 minutes when we found out we were talking about Earth Day.
That's a lie, but, go off. No. I haven't, but I do really like Earth Day.
Yes.
I really like Earth Day.
Okay, why do you really like Earth Day?
I just think that, I don't know. I like the earth, and I like nature and animals and the environment, and why not keep it clean and safe? Because that just seems like common sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Elissa, did you want to say something?
Do you ever do anything specific on Earth Day?
Not me specifically, because I don't really celebrate it, but I do try to keep myself aware, and I do read a lot of science news and keep up with statistics and things on animals and stuff like that. So I try to be as aware as possible throughout the year and stuff like that.
Yeah, as far as Earth Day goes, for me, the only thing I can really remember doing is during elementary school, we the 8th graders paired up with the kindergartners, and then we took them outside. We took them outside, and we planted a little garden in front of our school, and the kindergartner remembered that for the rest of her school year. She was like, "Oh, do you remember when we planted flowers?" And she named them after the different fairies from Tinkerbell and stuff. I was like, "Oh my god!" She knows
cute.
Every single fairy from Tinkerbell. This child needs to get outside more, but no, she was really cute. But yeah, I definitely agree with Mitzi that we only have one planet to live on. Everyone's like, oh, Mars could be a backup because they just found water on Mars. No, whatever the heck that is.
That's going to take hundreds of years, and the theory that they have is it'll take hundreds of years to populate, and it's more than people think that it takes.
Basically, Mars ain't ready for us, and we ain't ready for Mars.
It really is not.
And so we need to take care of Earth. And stuff is going on right now. That's not very good. The whole plastic thing that I've been hearing about,
okay,
that is the biggest problem in my opinion right now. I just feel like
the number gets higher and higher every year.
That's that. Yeah, that's a huge deal. It makes me a little uneasy whenever I see the numbers go up and up and up, because I don't know, there's this one video that I saw. It was a video of a sea turtle that was getting rescued, and it had a drinking straw up its nose. And rescuers had to pull it out with tweezers or something and try and help the turtle because it wasn't breathing correctly.
Yeah.
And it was a full bendy drinking straw that you would find anywhere. And that's the type of stuff that you're not really aware of. Oh, you get one in the cafeteria, or you get one when you get your Starbucks. You don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. So it really does have a large impact. So yeah, it's really crazy to think about.
Yeah, and I saw a video last week, I feel like it was, of this scuba diver. He had been looking forward to going scuba diving. I feel like it was someplace in Korea. Can't really think of where exactly it was right now, but the place where he was, they're known for having the plastic sea or something it's called, and it's literally he was just swimming through trash. You see him with the GoPro underwater, and he's literally just swimming through all these plastic bottles and different things. No, oh, that's Aiden. He's swimming through all these plastic bottles and containers and everything. There is no space where he could go without getting hit by trash. And it was the craziest thing for me to look at. And he said, and the video that I was watching said that this place is known for having the most pollution waste-wise in their oceans. And I know Aiden Healy, who is in student council, who made the announcement today about the dress down day tomorrow for Earth Day, said that scientists believe that by 2050, there will be more pollution in the sea than fish.
That makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Because the ocean isn't made for humans, being that we breathe air and oxygen. So why are we polluting it so much and making it like so horrible for the things that are actually supposed to live there?
Yeah, I think it's honestly people just don't care. Like, it's you see people just throw stuff on the floor outside, like, throw stuff out their window, or even just here in the cafeteria, kids will just leave stuff on the table and be like, oh, that's what the janitors are for, oh, someone else will get it. Like, no, it's your job to clean up after yourself, no one else's. And it's extremely frustrating to see someone, just either throw something on the ground or, for instance, throw something in the ocean. But the funniest thing, well, it's not really funny, but I remember first being really introduced to pollution through Happy Feet, because the penguin in the sweater, he had the thing wrapped around his neck, and he couldn't talk at first, but he was like some type of like super poetic genius dude, and then like it ended up snapping off, but he was like choking on it because he was just this really fat penguin with this soda cap thingy, the plastic stuff on the soda on the soda cans got caught around his neck, and I was like, oh, he can't breathe, so we'll just get it off of him. And then finally,
I think that like, it really harms the wildlife, and it makes that's like one of the things that makes me like the saddest, because it's like the ecosystem just gets so disrupted, and it messes everything up, and it just makes me sad. Yeah,
there was a video, a commercial that I remember seeing a couple of years ago that said some name brand toilet paper was taking the paper roll out of the middle of the toilet paper, because they said that there were enough toilet paper rolls to build the Empire State Building like twice or something like that for that year.
That too.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's cool. We're making strides, to do stuff. And then I never saw that in stores, and every other toilet brand was still doing that.
No, so I was like, ever again. Yeah, that type of stuff, it makes me so, like, it makes me sad, because, like, stuff like that goes into production, and it's super great and for the environment, but then it, when it goes into stores, sometimes, like, most of, like, the eco-friendly things, or the things that don't have a lot of chemicals in them, or are, like, eco-friendly, or, like, zero waste, those types of things, they are usually more expensive, and then that tends for people to not buy them, which means that they stop producing them.
Preach.
Which means that people...
America?
They don't stop, like, they stop making them, which in turn just makes the situation even worse, which I wish it wasn't like that, and I wish more people would...
Politicians get your life?
Not even that. I just wish people... I wish people in general would... I know that a lot of people have the mindset of, like, oh, if I don't do it, someone else is going to do it anyway. Yeah. If, like, I throw a piece of trash somewhere, like, if you don't do it, then it's one less person doing it. That's the way that I see it. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's really saddening with just pollution and just, I don't know. It makes me sad.
And you know what I love recently? What they started doing for, like, New York, when you go to the store and you have to now pay for a plastic bag.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just Suffolk County, actually.
Love that. Yeah, I think it's just Suffolk. Unless Mr. C's shaking his head, but I was told it was just Suffolk. No, it's not just Suffolk.
It's all of New York?
It's all of New York now? They changed it? Oh. Fabulous. Okay, I saw a study actually that they changed it in California, that it's actually 10 cents, and that the number went down significantly of how many plastic bags they were like distributing and stuff like that, because of
how paying cents.
Yeah, and like even the bags that like I've gone shopping with my mom, and like they'll ask us, and we won't have like a reusable bag on us, because we usually have them with us everywhere. Yeah. Which is really good to have. Carry them with you everywhere. But they handed us like one of like the newer bags, and they were like better quality. Yeah, exactly. So like even the newer bags that they're giving you, if you spend like 5 cents on them, even those are reusable. Like you can reuse them. Exactly. And like even like if you must, like I encourage everyone, like look for ways, like simple, tiny things that you can do to just limit the waste in your life. Exactly. Just limit how much you waste. If that's like buying a metal or glass straw, or getting a reusable bag that you can bring everywhere, or even like getting like, I don't know, bamboo like cutlery to bring to places with you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how not using plastic bags really improves the limits pollution. I know a couple things are don't run your water while you're brushing your teeth. That's like my biggest pet peeve is when people aren't like you don't need to have the water running, or like when you're in a room that's well lit from outside light and you have lights on anyway, that used to infuriate me. Or when you're not in a room, and you have the light on, why? Just flick it off. Simple things right there. And become a millionaire and buy one of those electric cars so that you don't need to pollute the air.
I want a Tesla so bad. Someone buy me a Tesla. Elon Musk,
buy me one first, because I'm the closest to getting my driver's license pretty much, and I'm moving for college. So I have seniority. Thank you very much. And that ends
I don't think that matters.
Radio show. So thank you all for listening, and buy me a Tesla, and we'll be back.
Buy me a Tesla first, and also
we'll be right back after
save the sharks. By the way, save sharks.
Alexa Cox Tesla fundraiser 2018. Bye.
Welcome back to SJB Radio. Here, your host Aiden for the sports segment of the show. Here with my co-host Mr. C. Billy cannot be here today. So the NBA playoffs have started, Mr. C. Probably your favorite time of year, especially since
it is my favorite time of year. I love the NBA playoffs. It's always great to watch basketball after basketball after basketball after basketball after basketball and nonstop basketball until I'm basketballed all out. I mean, it's just wonderful.
I would say, if your team's in it, it's good for you. Other teams, you can't wait for the off season.
No, I mean, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any of the games, but I will say that the playoffs this year have been very interesting, so to speak. The most interesting series to me is New Orleans being up 2-0 against Portland and getting 2 in Portland on the road. So that, to me, so far is the most intriguing series right now.
And honestly, I don't think we're going to have a part 4 to the Cavs or the Warriors this year. All right, so let's get into the games. So first in the East, we have Toronto versus Washington. And Toronto already has a 2-0 lead. They're coming in as the number 1 seed. They had a great season, and I don't see why not they would beat Washington right now.
I don't know. I mean, I think Washington going home, they could still have the advantage. They could go home to tie it up 2-2. So it's still early in that series. I predicted Washington in 7. I'm sticking with my pick. I don't really like Toronto like that, but we'll see. I think with the home court, you do what you need to do on home court advantage, and we'll see what happens from there. But I picked Toronto. I picked the Wizards in 7. So that was my pick.
All right, so now we have Mr. C's favorite team, the Boston Celtics. Through all the injuries that they've had this year, I think they're still playing really well. I still think that they're going to beat out Milwaukee, but I think it's going to take around like 6 or 7 games because, they're really going to be missing Kyrie, and, Gordon Hayward's been out all year. But I think Boston still has a great team that I don't think they're going to go that far this playoffs, but when they have their team healthy, they will definitely be a force to
listen, they're playing great right now, honestly. We're up 2-0. I think, people underestimated the Celtics. They have a lot of fire weapons, and keep in mind, these are second, third string players playing. So it's great to see the energy's up. If we can just easily continue that going into game 3 and 4, I mean, the goal is you want to still win on the road. So if we could at least get one or two, we're in good shape coming back home for game 5. So if I were to predict it, I would say Milwaukee wins game 3, Celtics win game 4, and then we close it out in 5. That's just my prediction, but it could go either way at this point.
Now, the one team that I honestly think is going to go far, because I think sometimes in the playoffs you need a lot of momentum to go far. Like towards the end of the season, if you have a lot of momentum and your team's playing pretty well, you will go far into the playoffs. And that's with the 76ers, and they're playing the Heat. The series tied right now, but I really think the Sixers are too overpowered, and their youngins are really good. Except for I really don't know what's going on with Joel Embiid's injury. I really think he should be able to play. But I think with that squad, I think they're going to destroy the Heat probably in like 5 or 6 games. What do you think?
Well, they with Joel Embiid not playing and they're able to play, Philly lives by the 3 and die by the 3. They shoot a lot of 3-pointers. So I think they were surprised to see Dwayne Wade resurrect in Game 2. And, us basketball fans who watch know this is what Dwayne Wade does. So it was this is a potential going 7 series, but Embiid needs to play. I mean, he could easily put a mask on and play. I don't know why they're holding him out, but he'd love to play, and I think he'll be the big difference maker in the series. So I predicted Philly to win. I said Philly, I think, in 6. So I'm sticking by that pick.
All right, so now I think this is a toss-up. We have the Cavs versus the Pacers. The Cavs don't really look too good, in my opinion, compared to previous years. And unless LeBron James, like he always does somehow in the playoffs, plays amazing, I don't think they're going to beat the Pacers. I really don't think, because I think he played 82 games. He's getting old. I really think that playing as much basketball as he has the past couple of years, I think they're going to lose this series.
I'm a LeBron hater, and I've never been – everybody knows that. So my heart would say for them to lose, but I did pick them to win the series. If they lose Game 2, they're losing the series. That's just my prediction. And the Pacers are doing things that people don't know about. They've been playing like this forever. So I think – again, my initial prediction were to pick the Pacers, pick the Cavs, but if the Pacers win Game 2 tonight, it's over. That's what I said. But I still believe in, even though I hate LeBron, I still believe in him a little bit. Yeah,
I also dislike him, but he's one of the best that played the sport. So he could just take over a game just by the snap of his fingers if he really puts his mindset to it. So I think
for sure, absolutely.
If he's on his game, forget about it. They're gonna win the series. But if he's not, if his team's not gonna hold around them, they're losing the series. All right, now to the West, we have the Rockets versus the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves just made it in. The Rockets have played unbelievable this year, creating a big 3, I guess, with Ariza too. Harden is playing like MVP caliber, and Paul is doing great with coming in with a new team. I really think the Rockets would probably win, I would say at least 4, maybe 5, and beat the T-Wolves.
I think I had the Rockets in 5. It's unfortunate because the Timberwolves have talent too. Game 1, Karl Anthony Towns, he only had 8 points, and I think he only had like 6 or 7 touches. So it's tough to see a guy that's so talented not get the ball like he's supposed to. It's hard for you to win a game when James Harden scores 44 points. So I easily have the Rockets in 5.
All right, next we have the Warriors versus the Spurs. Warriors, they're still really good with how many star players that they have. And they're going up against a Spurs team that, their days are coming. Kawhi Leonard's not the same Kawhi.
He hasn't played.
And he hasn't played either. And so I think the Warriors are just going to run right through the Spurs. I'd say in 4 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep them.
Yeah, they're getting swept. I said that. The Warriors are going to sweep the Spurs. It's a done deal. They swept them last year, I believe, and I think they're going to do it again. So I haven't even watched. I probably watched maybe like 2 quarters in this series. I didn't watch Game 2, and the Spurs kind of try to keep up, but they don't have enough talent to keep up with the Warriors. Even though the Warriors are shorthanded without Steph, they still have Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. So, and when their stars are playing well, their others are playing even better. So, yeah.
All right, next we have the Blazers versus the Pelicans. The Pelicans are already up 2-0. I really see the Pelicans coming out of this one. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to go 6 or 7, but I really think the Pelicans are going to win.
I predicted the Blazers to win. I had the Blazers winning the series, but I'm surprised to see that the Pelicans are playing well. And I think the difference maker is Rondo. Rajon Rondo, if you remember last year, the Celtics were down 0-2 against the Bulls, right? Who was the X factor in that series? It was Rondo. Yeah. Rondo is an X factor. And when you put superstars around Rajon Rondo, and he was on my team, he's a very successful player. And he's able to he's been there. He's been at the playoffs. He's won an NBA championship. He's a proven vet. and he makes other players play better. Drew Holiday is really taking it to Damian Lillard. So right now, New Orleans is in the driver's seat. You're up 2-0 going back home. So I'll be surprised if the series, the way the series is supposed to be is New Orleans supposed to sweep. But at least hopefully the Blazers could come out with one. But I had the Blazers winning in about, I think, 7. So we'll see if that even actually happens now.
All right, so the last series for the first round, we have the Thunder versus the Jazz. The Thunder won the first game. Jazz played up to more than what they were expected to play because of how well Donovan Mitchell has been for them and how well the team has played. And they had a great stretch at the end. But I think the Thunder is just going to take this one. I think it's going to be in Game 7, though. I think it's going to be very close.
I had the Thunder. I think I had the Thunder in 6 or 7, but OK3, when they play well, they play. I think Paul George had like 37 in the first game. I think Russell Westbrook had 29 or 30, and Carmelo had 16. So when their 3 guys play well, they win. And I have OKC coming out of that series. Yeah.
All right, so who do you predict for the NBA Finals?
I'm going series by series this year. I can't tell you. Yeah, I'm going to do series by series. I can't tell you just yet. I have to see who's going to face each other in the second round. I mean, the second round, if I had to predict right now, like I said, I'd have Boston versus Philly, Cleveland versus Toronto. Then you'd have out west, you'd have Houston versus OKC, and then you'd have New Orleans versus the Warriors. So I'd go round by round. So ask me again in about 2 weeks. How about you?
Yeah, I think so. All right, that wraps up our show. I'd like to thank Mitzi, Alyssa, Alexa, and Mr. C, and Rochelle. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, guys. Stop.